welcome to Toad TV.
You can really dance.
I think you should do the other one.
Oh, whip somebody's ass.
That's how she's feeling right now towards me. Welcome to Toad TV. I am Mary Beth.
I am Helen.
And this is Tabitha. Show Tabitha's tail. There's Tabitha's tail. Cheers. I am having citrus mint tea from...
Oh, Sipology?
Sipology.
That's a good one.
Very good.
I'm having buttermint from Twinings. It's perfect.
I heated mine up. One of the great things about the Aga, it has these wide burners, but they're not really burners because it's just ambient heat.
Yeah.
But it's a solid piece of metal, but you can put your mug right on it and it heats everything up beautifully. So I was getting a little bit chilled. It was a little bit down and it heated it back up, very nicely. Thank you very much to everybody who left us very nice comments about sister number 3 joining us. We did not make her sit in the back, even though she is the youngest. It's just difficult to fit all 3 of us on a tiny little viewfinder.
Right.
So that we kind of had to work it in.
Without showing our complete.
Which really nobody needs to see right now. So, you don't know if we're wearing pants. Okay.
Spoiler, it's something I insist upon.
Yeah. We are like the fly lady. We are fully clothed from head to toe. All right, so we have a bunch of things to show you and talk to you about.
Should we start with Triwizard?
Tabitha is now sitting on my lap, kind of like Tigger did that time when she saw on Giles' lap.
Hi.
My youngest brother was staying with us for a little while, and Helen had a cat named Tigger that loved her. She put up with me, but that was it. And
Tigger was a one-woman cat.
There was one time, and Tigger could be a raving lunatic. Like, yeah.
Tigger liked me.
Yeah. There was one time my brother was sitting there, and she jumped up on his lap, and he just went like this, very still, because he knew what Tigger was like. And Tigger's like, wait a minute.
Who are you?
The right person. And everybody was just kind of frozen for a moment.
And then Tigger calmed down and sat
Nobody
in his
wanted
lap,
to move.
and John just sat there.
And it was okay. But, yeah, no, it was... You didn't mess with Tigger.
No.
She was like...
She was a powerful
OG
cat.
island cat.
Yeah.
You know, so... Okay. Try Wizarding Tournament.
Yes.
You guys... There are so many of you that are done.
Yeah.
I mean...
People were worried, am I going to get it done in time? And people are done.
I'm not done.
No.
I'm not even close to done. But
we wanted to highlight some of the people who had finished.
yeah. All right, so I took from the Facebook group.
Okay.
So here are a couple of people who finished doing it. This is Darcy Thompson's.
And Darcy's been great. She's been helping everybody. She finished hers fairly quickly, so she's been able to help people through the pattern. So thank you very much, Darcy.
Fairly certain that's Viper Tooth.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
That's beautiful. And then this is Pat McCarty.
Oh, I got hers on Ravelry too. So
Okay.
I'll show her again.
She did hers in red. And she actually got picked. She was mentioned on... Wrong one. Somebody got in touch with us to let us know that... Wrong one. We were mentioned on Needles at the Ready, which is a knitting podcast, and Pat's finished hat was mentioned as part of it. I am watching the video right now, so I haven't gotten that far.
Yeah.
But evidently, Pat McCarty was the one that was mentioned.
And thank you so much for letting us know, because we can't watch everything, and most of the time there's no way of us knowing that people mention us unless people tell us. So
Right.
Thank you very much.
This is Jill Chase's, and she did it on a plate.
And, that's Dementor, right?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. That just, that looks so pretty. And then, let's see. This is Helen Henry. She did hers in Wolf. That came out looking so nice. There were a couple of people that put up pictures of themselves in the hat, and I didn't want to show your picture on the podcast.
Without
your face.
right, without your approval.
Without your approval. So the last one I'm going to show is, this is Lois Bell's, and she did it in red. Ugh. You guys, you're making me want to work on it now. So
You make it sound like that's such a chore.
I know. Oh, okay, one more. Because this is Cindy DeMarc
okay, I
Surratt.
had hers. Okay.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay. And she did hers in Peter. And love the way that turned out in Peter. Really, really nice. So good job, guys. Really, really good job.
Okay, and I have from the Ravelry group, this is Diane's. She did the crochet. She says she usually knits, but hats don't look good on her, so she decided to try the crochet one, and she thought it was a great pattern. And a perfect choice for us. And she did hers in Mowage. And it looks fantastic.
It does. That looks so pretty.
But I love how it looks crocheted. I may have to try that one.
Yeah, no, a couple of people put up their crochet hats, but their heads were in it.
Yeah.
Their faces.
A lot of people are saying how much they love the hat now
Yeah.
that it's done. So
It looks fantastic.
it's not only an interesting knit, but it's a fun hat to
Yeah.
have. So
So I am working on mine. I am not even close to done. We watched Knives Out this weekend, and
good movie.
it was a great movie, but I wanted to pay attention. So I was working on my habitation throw because I don't have to pay attention to what I'm doing on that. And I just love working on that. I love the way the yarns are turning out so much that I went back to it the next night. But here we go.
Have you got the right name? Since we've been calling it something else.
We're going to call it Sneezy.
I'm pretty sure it's Sneezy.
I think it's Sneezy. It's on Sneezy, one of the dwarves. And that's how far I am right now. I'm coming along. I'm pretty sure I've made a mistake. I'm pretty sure there's one row where there's a mistake. But that's okay. Because I figure it's going to be on top of my head, so I'm not going to care. And if you are close enough to notice that mistake,
You're
way
not
too
following
close.
social distancing rules.
And
we have bigger issues.
even before coronavirus and everything, I like a bubble around me so that you're too close.
Wait, don't put it away.
Oh, okay.
I'm doing mine on Mer People with Mer People.
Oh my god, it's
And it
so
is
pretty.
so pretty.
Okay, I don't think it's just the needles. No, okay.
Yeah.
It's just the nails. Mine looks so much. Well, here, look.
But that's why I wanted you to
looks
keep
so
it out
much
because
fun.
people had commented saying, "Wow, Helen's is so much bigger than Mary Beth's." I'm on a 24-inch cable and Mary Beth is on a 16-inch cable, so hers is really scrunched up.
Yes, it is because mine looks like it's for
I mean,
Drew.
you look like it's gonna fit a toddler.
Anyway, there's. Mine goes very nicely with your shirt.
Oh, yes, it
yours
does. Does
goes very
not.
nicely with my
Right.
shirt. Look at that.
I'm really enjoying the pattern once you get a handle on it.
Yeah.
I don't even need to look anymore to see which row I'm on. I've figured out how, I know where I'm coming up on the cable.
I would say that, and then I'm looking at my mistake, and I'm just stop.
But I am in the middle. I have just started what I think is going to be my last section repeat.
How many did you do?
I have absolutely no idea. I didn't count.
Okay.
But I'm at about 5.5 inches. So I think because I just started the section and it's 8 rows, so I'm thinking that's going to give me the 1.5 inches that I need before I
Okay.
start my decreases because you're supposed to start with the end of the pattern.
Right.
So, but I really, and I love how Mer People is knitting up.
Mer People is beautiful.
So,
It really is. Right. I want to go into the pattern because somebody had a question for us they sent us an email. I'm finding the pattern somewhat confusing. Could you please help me with further clarification? So this is for Barbara Hurwit, and I'm pretty sure somebody else had this question on the Facebook group, and some people helped her out. She says, I am at the point of shaping the crown, having difficulty understanding rounds 2 through 6, 8 through 12, And 14 through 18, it says knit according to chart, excluding 1, 2, 3 stitches.
All right, so 2 through 6, those are your knit rows. No, 2 through 6, so it's excluding 1 stitch. So
Because
what it is because you're going to be short a stitch.
Right.
Because you've decreased.
So instead of having 3 stitches in between the cable, you are now going when on round 2, you are going to have, or rounds 2 through 6,
right.
You're only going to have 2 stitches
because it's
in
knit,
between the cable.
What it is the pattern is essentially knit 3 cable.
Right.
And
knit 3 stitches, then do the cable, then knit 3 stitches.
Because it's a 5-stitch repeat.
Right.
So now what it's going to be is it's going to be a 4-stitch repeat. So it's going to be knit 2 and then cable the 2 stitches. And that's rows 2 through 6.
And then 8 through 12 is going to be knit 1 stitch, then do the cable, then knit 1 stitch, then do the cable. And then 14 through 18, you're just doing cable, 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 cable.
Right.
And that should, and if you're doing it in pattern, so when we say knit 1, then do the cable, knit 1, do the cable, it depends on where you're starting on the pattern. Okay, for those of you that have finished, can you let us know whether you did round 1 of the shaping of the crown as round 1 of the pattern, and then round 2 was the straight knit? Or did you do round 2 as
round 1 of the pattern?
Round 1 of the pattern, so then you're doing the cable in rounds 2, 4, 6 instead of the odd numbers the way she's got it.
And it's a bit confusing, and I mean, this is part of the issue of picking free patterns, because if you're putting out a free pattern, you're not paying for a tech editor or anything like that. So it's not, I'm not faulting the designer, but the answer to the question is when you're taking a stitch away, it's just instead of having 5 stitches in the 5-stitch repeat, you're only going to have 4 stitches. So in the first, for rounds 2 through 6, your 4-stitch repeat is going to be 3 knits and 2 knits and 2 stitches for the cable. And then the next group is going to be 1 knit and 2 stitches for the cable, because you're going from 5-stitch pattern. And it's just a matter of where you are in the pattern.
Right.
That's we're asking about.
Right.
So,
okay. Let us know, those of you that finished, because the ones that finished, they look really, really good, and I'd love to know what you did.
And I know some people did say that they just kind of did their own decrease. So hopefully, Barbara, we have at least answered part of your question and not made it totally confusing.
Right. And also,
take out a lot of it.
Once we get the answer, we'll see how it goes. And besides, you're probably going to be there very soon, so you'll be able to help us.
Right.
Because you'll be doing it. Okay. All right, then.
Okay.
So much for that.
All right. So then we wanted to, since we're about halfway through the June challenge, we wanted to pick some winners.
Right.
So we picked one each from, we had you guys sort yourself into houses. So we picked a winner from each of the houses.
Right. So somebody donated stitch markers. They donated 3 sets of stitch markers, but there are a lot in there. So we're repackaging them into 4 sets of stitch markers, and we're going to send one to each of the winners of the houses.
And they're Harry Potter themed. Of course, the one I picked out is ours. And this is an anonymous donation.
Thank you very much, Anonymous.
It is not that we're being, someone, we've forgotten who.
Hold that thought.
So the stitch markers come from Winemaker's Sister on Etsy, and Anonymous purchased them and donated them. So, and she has great stitch markers.
Okay, so for Gryffindor, we picked Penny Johns. I just randomly said, Siri, give me a number between, and they did. For Hufflepuff, it's Jessica Mullinex. For Ravenclaw, it's Allie Green. And for Slytherin, it's Diane Sturgis.
So congratulations, everybody.
Yes.
If you guys can get in touch with us. I know at least 2 of you, we have your address.
Pretty sure all 4 we might have your address, but...
But just get in touch with us. Let us know that you saw that you've won, and we will ship them out to you. And it's toadhollowNJ@gmail.com. So.
Also, we did want to mention that a couple of people reached out to us and asked us to pick a random skein, a mystery skein, for July's yarn, because we someone for June's yarn, and she got so excited she said, "Can you do it again?" And then we had a couple other people reach out and say, "Hey, could you pick us a mystery skein for July's Tri-Wizarding, what's the word I'm looking for? Challenge, not challenge.
Yeah, challenge.
Challenge?
Mm-hmm.
All right. For the second part, could you please pick out a mystery skein for us, which we are going to do. So if you would like us to do that, we have opened up a listing on the shop. It's toadhollowNJ, as in New Jersey.com. And it's under our Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah, and I'll link it below too.
And if you would like us to pick you out a mystery skein, you won't know what you're getting, but
it'll be a skein that we feel will work well for the pattern because we know what the pattern is. So.
And we're going to give you a hint. It's not one of our skeins that's on sale right now.
Yeah.
Because we're going to bring back some colors, and we're going to send those out as mystery skeins, so that and then after you guys get them and open them and ooh and ah and show all your friends and they want to buy them, we will be opening them up for regular sale too. But you guys will get them first. And so if you're interested, if you would like us to do that, you can do that.
Yeah. So it'll be a 1 skein of DK that's variegated.
Right. So. Okay. All right. Quick questions and comments from from Saturday's video. There are not very many, so we will, let's see. Bernadette says, "You lucky ducks, you have your own tiny chef." And she wanted to know why we made Amanda sit in the back. I have already answered that.
And you're right. We are very lucky.
Yes, we are. Lisa Bryson says that she has a Vitamix and she adds beets. She doesn't like beets, but it makes it sweet.
I read that and I thought, I'm going to have a hard time convincing Mary Beth, but maybe we should try that. Both of us despise beets.
Yes. However,
I have almost a natural regurgitation when I eat a beet. So
again, it goes back to the 3-day diet that Amanda was talking about with the cottage cheese.
There's just something with that earthy taste that just does not work with me.
I do know,
but I like the idea of the sweet,
and I know that they use them as a natural sweetener for cakes and things like that. A lot of people use it as a natural sweetener, so I have heard that. It's just
we're going to try it.
We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Okay. Infinite Vibes says she's just heard that we are coming to her local yarn store. She sells yarn in Ormond Beach, and she's so excited.
Oh, cool.
Yes, we are.
Surprise!
We talked to Helen, and we are going to be dyeing up some yarn for her this week and sending it down. So she placed her order, and it will be going out hopefully by end of this week, beginning of next week. Quite a few people asked, what is the shawl?
That was my mistake. I was rushed to get it up, the video up, and I forgot to link it. It's the Lunaria shawl by Annie Lupton. It's one of our samples, and we sell the kit in the shop, and I will link it today.
And it is one of my most favorite shawls that we have had sample knit for us. It reminds me very much, and we did it not intentionally, but we used some of the Jane Austen yarn in it. Sense and Sensibility is in it, and it just is, to me, the epitome of a Jane Austen type. Yeah,
it's a very feminine shawl, and it's one of the few triangle shawls that I don't mind wearing.
Yeah, I adore it. I love it so much.
So I will link the kits down below.
Okay. CD says she loves the cross stitch sets. Are they too advanced for a complete beginner? She'd like to get the suffragette kit from 123 Stitch, but doesn't know about stitching on linen or the correct needle size.
I would say if you're a beginning knitter,
Stitcher,
sorry. No pattern is too complicated because you're putting colored X's where they belong. However, I would use Aida fabric instead of linen, because linen it's harder to see the boxes. They're much smaller and you have to go over 2 boxes as opposed to going over 1 box.
Here, this is an example of Ada fabric, and the boxes are much bigger. The holes are bigger.
And you only have to go over 1 box. You put your X in and you don't have to, it's the simplest way to start.
Right.
And I would start with a lower count Ada because that means your boxes are bigger. So 14 count Ada is going to be much easier to see than a 16 or an 18 count.
Right.
So it's the opposite. The lower the number, the bigger the box. But as far as the pattern is concerned, it is absolutely suitable for a beginner. And if you're using a 14 count or a 16 count Ada, a 26 size needle will be fine.
Right. A 24 or a 26
yeah.
will be fine.
The 24 might be iffy on the 16 though.
Right.
So.
Okay. I have used it.
Have you?
Yeah, and it's okay.
It doesn't split the...
No.
Okay.
I would suggest starting with the 14 count if you're a beginner, just because larger boxes,
Yeah.
easy to see where everything's supposed to go.
Sister number 3 just this weekend, she was working on a 16 count and she was having a hard time with it. So we got her 14 count to start her project, and all this, and I mean, she just whipped along.
She's going, and all of a sudden she's got a seagull.
Right.
And it looks fantastic.
And it just made all the difference in the world. So
right.
As Rebecca said, start on a 14 count and then a 24 or 26 size needle.
And very often they will give you the option of getting a kit to go with it, or getting just the threads. If you get just the threads, especially if you're a beginner, all the threads are picked out for you. You don't need to go and find them.
Right.
Just get the threads, but do not get the fabric. Get a 14 count linen, or a 14 count Ada, sorry, just because it's going to be so much easier to start with.
Yeah.
And then you can work your way up to the linen. I know that a lot of people love the look of the linen because it's very small stitches, very even stitches, and it looks beautiful. And it does. Mm-hmm. However, for me, I get totally confused by it, and I'm really very, very happy with my Ada.
And the hand feel of the linen is nicer. However,
after you wash it,
Ada has got a nice feel.
So if you get the Ada and you're going to do it, wash it with just a little bit of detergent and then dry it without any kind of dryer sheets.
I would hang dry it just so that it doesn't even shrink further.
Okay, so if you just hang dry it and let it air dry until you're ready to go.
It's cotton.
Run it
across
softer
with an iron because it'll be completely wrinkled because it's cotton. But again, just a regular steam iron and you'll be set to go.
And it's so much softer than when you get it in the package and you're ready to go.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right. A couple of people left us a tip for the hummingbird feeder. They said don't use the package food because it's dyed, and there's something with the dye that you shouldn't do.
Okay.
Just do 4 parts water, 1 part sugar, boil them together, and then let it cool completely, and the hummingbirds love that. So
okay,
we will keep that in mind.
Cool.
Thank you very much. All right. So now that we have our cross stitch out, would you like to show your cross stitch?
Sure.
Because you guys. Okay, so here. Dun 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 dun. Oh my God.
It's all done.
It's beautiful. Oh, it's so pretty.
So all I have to do is I have something that I want to stitch in here, and I just have to decide how I'm going to do it.
You have some green.
Yeah, whether I'm going to cross stitch it or embroider it. I'm leaning towards embroidery because I don't want the blockiness of a cross stitch as far as the letters are concerned. It's just a matter of getting the sizing right and having it fit. But I love it so much. So the pattern is the Spring Moon by Alessandra Adelaide. And it's just, I love it.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. And I used it, this was Picture This Plus 18 count Ada that we got from 123 Stitch. I have forgotten what the color was. I think it was Barn Door or something. But I love it so very much. And I'm going to turn it into a pillow.
It is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorge.
So, YouTube, would you like to pick this thumbnail instead of me making a weird face, please? The last couple thumbnails has just been...
We have questions about YouTube.
Well, and the randomness, I'm thinking somebody's going, oh, God, she looks ridiculous there. Let's pick that one.
I did a little bit of work on Miss Lynette Lynn Linen. It's one of my ladies. And I have finished one side of her skirt, outlined the second, and I'm just going to go through and fill in. I put in the little white bits that are the buttons and things like that, so now it's just a matter of filling the entire space in with blue. So this whole thing just gets filled in with blue. It's going to be very fast and easy. And then coming up here with the pink.
It's going to be so pretty.
It is. So it is coming along. Slowly but surely.
Did you show the variegation on the pink? These are color and cotton threads, and the pink has just got such pretty variegation to it. As does the blue. The blue looks like almost like a faded jean look. So,
the fabric was donated to us by a viewer who didn't want it anymore. So she donated it to us, and I can tell you that the blue, I'm pretty sure, is King's Blue Light from Color and Cotton, and the pink is Holly Berry. Again, Color
these
and
are
Cotton.
all from when we were part of her monthly thread club. So
I went through and picked it. We weren't using them for anything, so I just went through and picked colors that I liked that didn't have anything to do with the pattern, what the pattern called for. Our friend Ray and I are doing them together, and I went through and picked similar colors to what she had picked because I loved her color choices so much. So I'm going to have similar ones.
yeah.
All right. So we had a little bit of time for knitting. We had a little bit of time for cross-stitching. Had a little bit of time for watching a movie. And then we actually worked on the sewing machines.
Yeah.
Sister number 3 brought down a quilt that she had started in, we figured,
1998 or something.
1998. And she worked on that for a little bit. And I had an idea. We have a space underneath our sink. It is not a cabinet. I'm doing this in the kitchen. It's just an open space underneath. And I hate the way it looks with it just being open. So what I want to do is put curtains there. So I thought it might be kind of fun to make some quilted pieces and put them as curtains. So I'm starting to make the blocks for them. This is one. So what I did was I took, Arnie and Carlos have a video on quilting.
Crazy quilting.
Crazy quilting is what they call it.
Yeah.
And what I did was I started with a piece of white
Like
linen.
muslin.
A muslin, not linen, a white cotton. And then I took all light colors and put them on the white. So
Doing
that
the crazy quilting.
the crazy quilting. And then I took a whole bunch of oranges and just put them all together and traced a pumpkin on it and cut it out. And I used, what's it called?
the heat bond.
A heat bond so that I could place it onto the fabric and
It's a way of, it's something that you iron onto the back of your fabric.
right.
And it's a double-sided fusible thing, and it's a really strong stick. So you iron it onto the back of your fabric, and then you iron the fabric you iron the pumpkin onto the fabric. So,
And then we had gotten this cording to with the possibility of using it as
something.
handles for a bag, an over-the-shoulder bag that never came about. So I used it as the vine for my pumpkin.
So cool.
And then I did an apple using red and brown check. Again, just using random white for the back.
And these are all, the background is all scraps from our bags, because I know that bag.
All of them, it's
Yeah.
all scraps. And then I did a bird.
He's so cool.
Okay, you have to hold him from the top because you're kind of blocking there because you're blocking his beak. So for him, I used all different yellows. I took a piece of purple and just made a triangle and did that for his wing and red for his beak. I used a button for his eye, and I used very thick crewel thread and just did a back stitch for his legs and feet. But that, as Helen said, was hand stitched.
So now you're going to sew these all together to become curtains.
Yes. I figure I need 18 pieces to cover the front of the sink. And what I want to do, because it's, there's a piece of butcher block, then the sink, and then a longer piece of butcher block that I want to cover up. So what I want to do is
She wants to cover beneath them. She doesn't want to cover up.
Put a dowel across and have them as curtains that we can move aside for when we want to get under there. And I am going to do, I figured, spacing wise, I figure I need 18 squares. What I think I'm going to do is do 9 like this, and then I'm going to have 9 that are, we have the hobo bag, the bandana fabric that we made the hobo bags out of. I'm going to do 9 that are just big squares of the different color hobo bag fabric, and have those interspersed so it's not white. It's going to be white with orange and then the next one kind of thing. So as I go, I will show you, and I'll take a picture of the finished product too. So that's what I did. And I'm really very, very pleased with it.
They're very cool.
I only got 3 done, but I have plans. I'm kind of going, we have Lori Holt's Farm Girl books. She's got patterns for goats and cows and pies and all sorts of things. So I'm going to go through, there's a pig.
Yeah.
And we have some pretty pink fabric. So I'm going to do a pig, and I'll probably do a goat and go from there. Cool. Yeah. It's going to look really pretty.
So I was working on the Ultimate Beginner Quilt from Fat Quarter Shop. It was a sew-along that she did in 2019. And it's just beginner blocks that she gives. It's a free pattern that she gives you to do, so you can try all the different methods of piecing together.
Did you watch the videos that go with each of the sections?
No, I just followed the pattern.
Okay.
So way back in probably January, we were going to do, a block a week or whatever, and I got 1 block done. So that was the first block. And then yesterday, I did block 2.
I love him reading his book.
Yeah. Block 3. And these are from a Fat Quarter bundle that we got. I was trying to go through our order history to see what it was, but I don't know. Block 4. Block 5. And block 6. So I just have 7, 8, and 9 to do, and then all the sashing and everything. But I love them.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and it's really it's exactly what it says it is. It's a beginner quilt. Her patterns are really good. I didn't have to do the videos or anything could just read the patterns to figure out how to put them together. But she does have corresponding
Corners are matching up so beautifully right there.
Oh yeah, I worked very hard. In my center, right? So she does have videos to go with it, and I will put a link to the page on the Jolly Jabber is her blog to the quilt. So
that is going to be so beautiful.
It
when
is.
you finish it and put it all together. The colors are so pretty.
I love using scraps, but then there's also just something for taking a Fat Quarter bundle where all the colors match,
right,
and they're all meant to go together, and just working with it.
This reminds me of like the colors of early Americana type of thing. It's that blue and that red that's slightly
more primitive,
but like a slightly primitive, and it's just it's gonna.
But
be
it adds
gorgeous.
the whimsy, of a
Yeah.
bear riding a tricycle.
Well,
So
If there's a bear riding a book or a bear reading a book, there's
Yeah.
chances are pretty good we're gonna buy that fabric. So, okay.
That was my sewing.
Yeah, no, it was a nice weekend. It really was.
Yeah.
You know, we had time to relax, time to doze a little bit. We got to talk to Amanda. It was really, really nice.
Yeah. Fun sisters weekend.
Yeah. So she's going to be coming back after she finishes her semester at school. Okay. So today we are heading over to the mainland because we placed an order with Home Depot for dirt. So we're going to go pick up dirt.
Yeah.
Figure we're doing
Excitement unbound.
curbside pickup, which means they get to load it into my car for me. And then I'm
Yes.
going to bring it back and Trevor's going to unload it and plant it.
Yeah. We'll go to DMV and
Yeah, we have to hit DMV and do a couple of quick errands. And then some of the local stores around us have opened. So we're going to check and see if they have...
see how the crowds are. And
Yeah, if it's not too crowded. There's one over in Bay Village that sells... they're kind of like bath bombs, but they're for your shower. And you hang them in your shower and they just slowly dissolve and make your shower smell so, so good. Yeah. And we love them. So we have to go stock up on those.
Right.
So, and then we want to go to Reynolds, which is the local garden store, and check out some of their plants.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, we got to get going. Helen. All right. We hope you guys have a wonderful day. We chatted for a while today, but we hope you have a wonderful day.
Yeah. Have a great day, everybody.
And we will see you tomorrow.